We live, people. Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Good evening to those of you in the UK. Arguably good night, because I know some of you will be winding down and going to sleep. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on who you are, wherever you are. And obviously, welcome to the watch along, or better yet, the aftermath of the watch along. The reaction, as you lot see, Arsenal win 3-1 against Crystal Palace. And for me, much like the title of my video, this game summed up our seasons. We went through so much emotion, ecstasy, excitement, sorrow, anger. At the end of it, we walk away with the victory, and we live to fight another day if there is anything to fight for. But this game sums up our season. You know, fine margins go against us, go for us. You know, there was VAR, there were some variables. You know, for me personally, for me the period where how do I make it make sense? The period in the game for me, when we conceded that goal, we looked atrocious, people, in my opinion. We looked very atrocious and our heads dropped. And like I said, for me, it summed up our season. It summed up where we're at as a football club. It showed the levels we have to go. It also showed what Arteta has to go through as a manager to reach the next level and all of those sort of things. Nonetheless, we get the victory. We live to fight another day. I'm happy to be bang on about my prediction of 3-1, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. There's 55 likes so far. If you give me a second before we actually crack on and get into it, I actually want to send you guys the link for the video that I'll be doing tomorrow, or the live watch along from 11:30. In fact, better yet, I want to pin that to the live chat, so you should be seeing that now. It should be dropped in there now. Big up the 2 people who've hit the like button on it as well. So yeah, getting back into this game. As I said, I hope you're doing well and safe. You've got to move quick. You've got to move quick. If you don't move quick, you're gonna be lost, man. We'll get into the game in a second, people. What have you said? It's cool, Matt, man. You know, apologies, man. You know, sun's cool. But it's, yeah, man, I read wrong. Apologies, man. Hope I don't scare you away. What have you said? Peter has said, we always why I think you meant, why do we always have to make it so hard? It's never 30. That's us. We win today, nothing spoken about. It is what it is, but these things have plagued us from last season. How we've won today isn't too different from our 2-1 victory against West Ham, or many times we've had to turn it around. You know, when we look at it, we didn't shoot enough, without a doubt, not enough shots at that goal. You're playing Guita, Ward, and not being, listen, a lot of those players are punching, you know, Cahill's done a lot in the game, but these players should be in the championship. And the 3 goals we scored were good goals in isolation, you know, fantastic for Pepe's second. You know, fantastic individual bit of play from him. Fantastic link-up play between Bukayo Saka and Tierney for Aubameyang's first. Wonderful pass from Odegaard, you know, and a run from Martinelli. But even that, Ward should have done a lot better in that regards, people. So for me, the one disappointment beyond the obvious, we simply didn't shoot enough. You don't shoot, you don't score. And to know Guita is suspect. Look at the goals. Look at some of the things he was doing. There was a period where it actually looked like they were the better team they had the better chances, if that makes sense, people. Excuse me while I make some timestamps, because I forgot this is for the reaction, people. You know, let's call this Arsenal post-match review. You know, I'm going to kick this off from minute 0, really and truly, because, you know, I spit that good stuff. We've got to do our player ratings as well, and anything else that pops up, people. So yeah, we did what we needed to do. We lived to fight another day. What's that? 3-4 wins in a row. I don't want to quite go as far as to say 4, but definitely 3 wins of recent memory. It keeps faint hopes of finishing ahead of Tottenham, finishing ahead of Europe alive, and we go to the last day in what's going to be a big game against Brighton. Obviously, you know, congratulations for the career you've had, Roy Hodgson. And if you choose to retire after Crystal Palace, you can look back at your career with fondness. Shout out to him. But if we get into the game now, people, my opinions on the game now, because it's going to go left, it's going to go right, it's going to go everywhere, people. You know me, man, it's a scattergun approach. So yeah, I'm just going to see if while it's fresh in the dome. Just before that, though, let's kick off this with, oh God, that wouldn't, sponsors would be happy about that. Just before we kick this off, people, a word from the sponsors very quickly, just to get you lot in the mood. And then after that, we'll get into the review. So yeah, big up to everybody locked in. Let's get into the review part of this watch along. I said Pepe scored the first. I said for Pepe's first, for Pepe's for Pepe for the first goal for Pepe's second, and for Gabriel's. I didn't necessarily say in order. But it is what it is. Yeah, man, interesting comment from Tom. Hopefully we see that, but it is what it is. Let's get going back to actually before the game, with respect to Crystal Palace. You know what you're gonna get against Palace. You know, street smart, crosses to the back post, you know, 2v1 situations, try and do what they can from set pieces. You know, you're gonna have your players like Pepe, like Zaha, but they're going to be balanced with players like McCarthy who work hard. First and second balls are crucial, and we struggled in that regards at times to cope with the first and second balls. Like, I think the only time we really look bad and I really look scared for us is when we actually conceded. But there was a period in the game, actually, you could argue Crystal Palace had the best opportunities in the game. Definitely with Benteke was one, and I can't remember the other one, but definitely early on in my watch along, and I wrote it down, they had two chances within the first half to go ahead. But what I liked is, again, was it champagne football? Not quite. You know, sometimes the first touch weren't quite there, the link-up play weren't quite there. But with with all of that in consideration, I think we made a confident-ish start to the game. We looked good on the counter. We started fast. It looked like Pepe and Chambers from minute one, in my opinion, were up for it. You know what Tierney gives you. You know, Smith Rowe and Saka, by their own standards, were a bit quiet today, but they're always buzzing about. Partey went through a couple horrible periods in the second half, but I think in the first half he was decent. And then they started well. You know, Chambers was up for it. I liked the good battle Chambers had against Zaha. Low key, Pepe probably should be man of the match. He scored 2 goals and whatnot, and the subs came on and whatnot. But I think Chambers had a very good game, coped with the threat of Zaha extremely well. How Slop isn't given a red for that trample. How Benteke isn't sent off a violent conduct. How an offside's given against Saka, and we're not giving a penalty. So many decisions that, okay, cool, it might sound like I'm whining, but again, and I'm not one to talk about VAR. If we didn't win this game, I'd consider the point of VAR, but I'd speak about it. There's an Arsenal bias. There's something against this football club that these people, because the VAR is not working, because what's separate from what's happened with Sloop to when Aubameyang and Nketiah have been sent off. Reckless play is reckless play. It's not making sense to me, but going back to the 5-minute mark, good start, confident start, look good on the counter. Obviously, you know what you're getting with Palace. 2 banks of 4, you know, all mans to the pump. You know, they're going to be difficult to break down. So I was expecting to see bit more movement. At the 10-minute mark, we look like the stronger side. We're breaking quickly, but as I said here, we just need to up the quality. We look dangerous on the counter attack. For 15 minutes, we probably had them in their own half, which we should have looked to put the game to bed, really. But you don't shoot, you don't score, which is a problem in itself. Like the 3 goals we've scored, they're, you know, those 3 goals should become a byproduct of consistent play and consistent sustained possession. Instead, they're individual moments of quality. Let's be real. Odegaard's done well since off the bench, but it's he's quite quiet. He's looked up. It's a lovely run from Martinelli. Martinelli's first touch was a bit so-so in the game, but he's paid to score. Great build-up play for Pepe's first between Saka and Tierney. As I said, fantastic individual quality from Pepe. But these are 3 isolated incidences. Up until minute 90, we had 1 shot on target, which was our goal. You don't shoot, you don't score. Especially when you don't shoot against teams which concede a lot of goals, players that probably punching to be in the Premier League. You create, what's the word? Not misconfidence. You create uncertainty with them really quickly. Instead, you allow them to build confidence the less you score. At 1-0, you know, long gone are the days of 1-0 to the Arsenal. I'm sure everybody in their nan did not think we was going to see that one out. And we got away with it. But again, you either double down on that, or you see out the game. And you look at our game management when it was 1-1, it was almost like we were going to lose or accepted defeat. At 1-0, we didn't quite. In fact, it's not even quite. We didn't show that intent to get that second or third. We had 1 shot on target in the whole half. So again, I think that's on the coaching tactics, but obviously it's also on the players to want to go and do that. 15 minutes in, we've got them in their own half. 20 minutes in, they're starting to wake up, and that's around the period I felt they had 2 better chances than us. 30 minutes, we're doing all right. We're still doing what we did when we started, but we're not breaking them down. It's in front. Everybody's got to do a little more. Centre half's got to carry it a bit more. Midfield strikers just do a bit more. And for me, skip out passes. If you're a midfielder and it needs to get to Chambers or Pepe, does it have to touch both of you before it gets there? Can it just go there first time? You know, El Nene, when he does have the confidence to play those passes, he's doing it all right, but he's not doing it consistently enough. And these are the sort of things, the creation of these free chances, the just getting it out your feet. Until these things become a minimal and we actually stop praising these things, we're not going to move forward. And I'm not saying not to praise it, but if we're meant to be an attacking side, you should be able to create numerous chances a game and then you get your 3 goals. Instead, those are isolated incidences. Those moves that we put together or those things, they happen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times a game for certain other teams. So it is what it is in that regards. Obviously, when you play a team like Palace, the first and second balls, if you don't know what I'm referring to, the ball's in the air, first, second, we're losing that. Obviously, physically, it's a bit mad. There was a point where we're doing zonal marking. I'm seeing Saka mark Benteke. It was a bit mad. Before I forget, Leno made a save of the game in the first half. Leno didn't have much to do, and that's actually something I liked. You know, I was prepared to concede. Yeah, we're not cutting them open enough, but Leno and our defense, they're not having nothing to do. Chambers is winning what he needs to win against Zaha. Holding's backing it. Gabriel's looking all right on the ball. Tierney spending the half just flying forward. Leno's barely had anything to do, which some critics of Leno might say he's better when he's under sustained pressure. But, you know, he's made some good saves and whatnot, people. He's done what he's needed to do. And really, like I said, isolated moments. Saka's, you know, really and truly, we need to take Saka out the lineup because the man is struggling with his form right now. And we, you know, it's upsetting that we just have to rely on him. He needs a mental break, in my opinion. He's still a big player. Saka and Tierney, Pepe scored and made it 1-0 if you didn't watch the game. But it's fantastic play between Bukayo Saka and Kieran Tierney. You know, it's lovely play. For me, Crystal Palace, again, go back to my live stream. I'm applauding the play, but you can see it's developing purely because if you want to see the next phase of play, you watch the man off the ball. And you could see exactly what Tierney and Saka was going to do, which, don't get it twisted, I loved it as an Arsenal fan, but you could see it. And this is where I'm a bit frustrated, where that's a defense that are not confident just like you. Shoot. It's not hard, but lovely play between our left back and, you know, what I assume is our left winger, Saka and Tierney. Link up play. Good little bit of movement for Pepe. It's a good finish as well. 1-0. It's a good goal. It is what it is. We're wearing a wavy kit. We're moving wavy. I think it's just deserved. But as I've said, or as you lot can see, please make sure you're hitting the like button. You don't shoot, you don't score. You have more shots, you're more likely to score more goals. So give more now, you know, give more. Hopefully that settles our nerves. At half-time, people, as I said, how Ward wasn't given a yellow for Tierney off the ball. I might be reaching, but I don't know. Sloop, I don't know. He's not giving a red. Benteke, he's lashing out. So it is what it is. I did feel Palace, while we're 1-0 up, they've actually had the better chances, purely because at that time, I'm remembering those 2 clear-cut chances. We look good on the counter, as I said, but I think everyone's got to offer a bit more. As I said, midfielders, centre-halves, can we do a bit more with the ball? We need a bit more movement from a couple of players as well, but they're a defensive unit. There's got to need to be a bit more. We're doing well. You know, Aubameyang's not had any shots. Saka looks a bit quiet, in my opinion. Smith Rowe, it seems to be situated on the right-hand side, and Arteta's clearly told him to do that, but I just think we'd have more joy having him in the centre or staying in the centre. Final ball hasn't been there for a real of us. Relative quiet day for Leno at this moment in time. I think Partey's been quite good in this first half. VAR is against us, as I keep saying, and I have to keep reiterating the message. First and second balls, we started to lose those. And we know what, at this point, we know what Palace are about. Set pieces to the back post, which they kind of went on to score when they floated, Townsend floated a lovely ball in. Set pieces to the back post, giving it to the likes of Zaha. First and second balls, we know what they're about. So again, kill off this game. Smith Rowe, I want to see a tiny bit more from him. He's on the right-hand side. Like I said, he needs to move central. That's what that point is. Simply put, at half-time, you're saying build upon it. Actually have some shots. You've got 1 shot on target. End the game with 10 shots on target. The team's there for the take and go and savage them up. With big up Roy Hodgson and all those sort of things, but we're here to spoil the party. We're here to give ourselves small hope of qualifying for Europe. Go and do it. You know, second half, again, it was more of the same. I did think we took our foot off the gas. We did not build on our lead, and you could see a goal coming. We knew he was conceding today, and everyone knew that set piece was going in. Townsend finally gets his bearings right. I think we've lost Benteke too easily. We're trying to play offsides. I personally thought it was offside, but you're playing a dangerous game doing that. I'm always going to say that as an Arsenal fan as well. either way, it's 1-1, and it's conceded via a goal. We know they're gonna score. We know Benteke. He needs service. That's the sort of goal he's gonna score. We know that's all they had in the tank, and at that point, it's frustrated. Now, the most frustrating period for me is we're starting to become very much second best after going a goal down. And it's like, conceding a goal. Have you lot never conceded a goal before? It looked like the tide could change and we needed to keep our heads. And I struggled to see that really until the last minute. But 70 minutes in, there's only one attempt on target. And like I said, you're looking at it, lapses in concentration, not building on sustained pressure, inability to deal with the many emotions that are thrown your way in a football game. It's the same old stories in this game. Once again, kind of just sums up why our season is where it is. And it's the same old story. Whether we've won, lost or drawn, these moments have been there. Sometimes, like, we've drawn this game, where some people would focus on the first 20 or 45 minutes where we've been amazing, if you could say that, we just haven't built upon it. Or certain people will focus on how poor he was in the second, or certain people would focus on VAR. These are themes that have followed us all season, where I'm not saying they're not variables, but the variables we can control in playing well for 90 minutes, killing off a game, inability. And as much as I criticize the managers need to install that, these players have to take heed of these things for themselves. Really and truly, it very much is the same old thing. Obviously, we're questioning the subs. I didn't disagree with Xhaka coming on because we're losing a lot from midfield, but he took off Tierney. Tierney might be tired. Took off Tierney. Xhaka was about more than a couple of other midfielders. You brought on, at the time, Martinelli, and Odegaard got his assist, so it looks like all the subs made a difference. I can't lie, Odegaard, you brought on to have them 1 minute moments of brilliance, but he was quite anonymous. I feel Martinelli's first touch was a bit scrappy when he came on. I think Xhaka got going, but the subs at the times were a bit baffling. And Pepe, I don't know if Arteta truly rates him. Started him and he saved his bacon. Martinelli off the bench saves your bacon. So it's as I said, Odegaard was anonymous for me, but the one time you need him to be awake, he is awake. Martinelli runs, and Martinelli proves what we know. You make a run, you show how suspect certain players are, and he really and truly warded Guaita. Guaita's in no man's land. Ward should deal with it. I don't care, because as an Arsenal fan, we benefit from it. It's 2-1 at that period in time. Obviously, wonderful, good throw-in from Chambers, if you could say that. Wonderful build-up play. Wonderful individual play from Pepe. Sees him get his second. He danced through everyone and finished. Poor play from Palace. Adds a bit of daylight on the score sheet, makes it seem like more of a foregone conclusion than it is, flatters us a bit. But I'm happy to be spot on with my prediction. I'm happy to win. I'm happy to walk away. I'm happy to just keep the winning sort of vibe going for the fans. And Brighton, if we can get Conference League, we can get Conference League. Brighton spelled City's party, so you're going to need to be at it. But it was very much that game summed up our season. As I said, same old stories defensively, same old stories in terms of game management, same old stories in terms of not shooting. Again, I think the changes, I should really delete that. At the time, I thought the changes were terrible in how they were done and what was done. I'm questioning. I thought it Lacazette and Martinelli thing. At the end of the day, we won the game. The subs did make a change, so I can't get Arteta, but it's another game where you're questioning what's being done and when it's being done. Did not ask enough questions of a terrible defense. Look at all three goals. Look at the two of those. The first two goals showed how suspect it is. Nobody's following Pepe. Like I said, you could read exactly what Saka and Tierney were doing. Lovely flip from Saka, but you could see what was happening. And, it's lovely play from Pepe, but he's fashioned that out of nothing, which is testament to Pepe and Roy Hodgson. He won't be happy with that goal. Those 3 goals we scored showed how suspect it was. So for me to sit here and see my team probably not in double figures for shots, or if it is, obviously it's flattering us a bit, kind of sums up where we're at as a football club. And for me, you don't need pre-season to know that these things are what's been plaguing us. We looked exactly the same as we looked against Fulham, really and truly at the start of the season, really and truly. Like, it is what it is in that regards, though, man. Like, it's 4 wins in a row. We beat Newcastle, we beat West Brom, we beat Chelsea, and we beat Palace. Again, 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, 12 points from 4 games. We can't complain. The devil's in the details, and it's the same old issues with these players, people. And in that regards, man, it is what it is. It's nice to win. You know what? It looks like this is what I was saying on the Emre. When you've got 6 shots on target and 3 goals and you win the game, it looks like you're clinical. But the devils are in the details, people. And we needed 2 goals in added on time, where again, these things we don't always get that. Sometimes we've drawn these games 1-1, as I've said, people. You know, we've drawn these games 1-1. Sometimes we've lost games. We can't focus on a shaky 20 minutes, a good 30, a positive 10. It's a 90-minute game, but we're a fan base, and I'm not trying to be negative, that do January, leagues from January, leagues from a certain amount of games being played, which to a degree I see it, but it's just rewriting history. So we didn't ask enough questions. We played well in moments. You know, that game summed up our season, but at the end of the day, I'm happy to win. 4 wins on the trot. We go into Brighton. We're moving closer to the end of the season, really and truly. For me, the one negative was the way we reacted after going to go down. That was the only period in the game I really sat there and I was like, I think Palace is going to win. Shout out to Chambers for that lovely block on Zaha as well, people. You know, 3 shots on target over 90 minutes, 2 of those coming in added on time. It's not levels, is it, people? You know, 3 subs helped change the game, but obviously 2 subs went on to score, people. I thought Chambers played well. I think Pepe played well. Pepe probably just edges him in terms of man of the match, but in my heart, I feel it's Chambers. Whatever I have to say about the subs, they made a difference. And again, as much as I criticize how the game was, I have to be cliche and say we showed fight, intensity, passion, and belief to get back in the game after that setback of conceding an equalizer, people. So that's how I feel in relation to my post-match opinions, people. It is what it is in that regards. Thomas said, this just proves that it's the players who are to blame for the performances this season, because we're rubbish when it was 1-1. All of a sudden, we were all over them and scored 2 more goals. Tom, I believe it's both. I can't, you know, I'm not saying you, but that's the theme a lot of people go on. And when we win, it's all Arteta, where it's got to be something. We're reactive as a club. Everybody, in my opinion. Jason has said, I've been Pepe's harshest critic, but praise where praise is due. Pepe has come a long way from the beginning of the season. Good goals. Shout out to you in that regards, man. You know, good points. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Obviously, get your opinions coming, people. We've got a lot to speak about and things like that. Where is that? 1 second, people. Where is that? I wanna drop the link for the next show tomorrow. Here it is. In fact, what am I doing? You know, quick little fit. You know, I'll probably do a thumbnail after. Cameron said, agreed, DG. This match definitely summed up our season, 100%. Please make sure you're at my watch along. My man said watch along. My live stream at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. We'll go more in depth with a lot of these things, people. Is what it is in that regards. What else have you lot got to say before we talk about player ratings and stuff like that? E.g., can Chambers be our right back moving forward, or do we still need to look on the market and use him as an option? Chambers can be an okay squad player, but let's be serious. You need a right back. 38-game period. I don't want moments and all of those things. Like, I need I like what Chambers has brought to the table, but yeah, man, right back is needed. But Chambers is doing his thing. He's proven that he could be a good squad player, a competent squad player. Chambers does a job when asked. I don't think Partey was useless, but I respect your opinion. Saka's been burnt out about 3 games ago. 100%. He's tired. For me, mentally more than anything. We don't have players that want to occupy the central space. If you saw the game, there was times when we're searching for the winner and we could only go sideways. Stefan, that's what jars me. Players are hiding, you know. How comes Aubameyang doesn't work? I think he worked. He's just anonymous today. You know, it's just he needed to be subbed, man. You know, it just seems like Aubameyang just either wanted it in front or that silly run off the shoulder. And again, you're not gonna against a Palace side, you're not gonna have enough space, man. They're gonna clock that really and truly. I don't think the main reason for Martinelli scoring is the overload. I just think he made an effing run. Like, he made an effing run, asked the question. Sometimes football is a complicated game. I think it's as simple as that. You have if you have a shaky fullback who has a problem following runners, you time your run. He struggled. The hardest thing to do as a defender, as a footballer, is watch the ball and the run. He's watched the ball. He's lost the man. He's onside. The keeper's moving, man. He's just asked a simple question. I hear what you're saying, and you're not wrong, but I don't even think it's a complicated thing like that. I just think a man's made a run. You know, movement is 9/10 of the law in football, in my opinion. You know, no one makes that run. Odegaard looks up and plays sideways. We don't play to Oba's strengths. You man need to stop slandering him. He was poor today, but that's where it ends, man. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is in that regards, man. I'm enjoying the comments you lot have, man. Keep the comments coming, people. Keep the comments coming. Lecce Iheanacho became the first player to score on every day of the week in a single season. Shout out to him. Shout out to him, man. Like the video, like Alex said. Come on. Aubameyang was missing. As simple as that, man. Like, it was as simple as that. Like, I appreciate the effort as always, DG. Come on, man. If you lot didn't receive me so well and say all your positive messages and all of that, there'd be no need. We're at 149 likes, though. Let's keep running that one there up, people. I appreciate you lot, man. You know, we're gonna sorry, people, a couple admin duties to do right now, live on there, and then we'll crack on, man. Brandon has said, on my lunch break, how did Smith Rowe do? Shout DG Nation. You know, he tried. He put himself around. Bit of a quiet night from him. I think he looked better centrally. I think he put himself around a bit more centrally. But yeah, man, not the best of games from Smith Rowe, man. I think what was demanded of him tactically might have played a part, but I don't know that for true, man. I don't know that for true. You know, it was lovely to see Tierney get an assist, especially... bless me, considering that, yeah, you're right, he was getting booed, but that's all part of football, and that's the element of football I miss, man. Certain players curl up into a ball when they get booed. You know, I used to go and watch Barnet play and abuse players, literally, and I used to stand there and be like, are you listening to me? I've taken time out of my weekend to come and do this. You're playing League 2 football, and I'm saying your shit in front, part of my language, in front of your face, and you're listening to me. But some man would have been there and been like, yeah, all right, mate, where's your wages? Where's your bird? And all of that sort of stuff. You know, that's like the sort of man Tini is. I like rattlers in my team. I like people that take it in their stride. Chambers the same, doing exactly the same. David Luiz, a dark art specialist, but obviously he's of no relevance to Arsenal past this season, or what's left of this season, if you can call it that. Really and truly. Big up everyone. Please make sure you're hitting those like buttons and smashing them and whatnot, people. Just a bit of admin to do and we'll be back. You know, you got to make sure them ads are in the watch along and whatnot, people. Need a dollar, man. It is what it is. So, yeah, there we go. And we're back, people. We're back. 250 of you locked in, man. Oh, I do think you need Odegaard. If not him, you need somebody else. You know, I do think Odegaard was anonymous apart from what he did. But the same token of that, that's what you need. You know, these creative players, it just needs to work well once and then it's gone. You get the point, man. We were average from minute 50 to 89. 1-1 was fair on the balance of up until we scored at the end. That's why the result would have disappointed if the result stood. We don't deserve Grealish. We're just not good enough. Oba's strength is that he's not the number 9 we should have against low blocks. He needs space to operate. Exactly. You know, the only way he's going to work against a low block is if there's continuous movement and you double down on his strengths. If you're not going to do either, it's not making sense. And pardon me, on top of that, he just played poor as well. You just have to keep it real. He just played poor. Simple as that, man. Oh, it's down. I don't know. It's down to Arsenal, man. You know, it's down to Arsenal. I don't like to talk about variables I can't control. Shout out the Twitch gang as well. Is what it is in that regards, man. Exactly. He's fine with that, man. Well, Alex, in relation to Tierney, he's fine with that, man. CP family, I appreciate that donation. Props, DG, keep preaching the good word. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I really do. Should we get into player ratings? I want to get into player ratings, people. Apologies. Let's get into player ratings. 29 minutes and 36. Let's call it that. Player rating. So, yeah, the time of the video that throws up the most talking points and has the most people up in arms and all of those sort of things, people. scrolling down a bit because I think it makes it look ugly when you can see all the other things. Leno, let's start with Leno, people. Obviously, I respect your opinions. Please respect mine. You know, if I'm presented with new information, I'll always change my mind. I'm a man of information. I'm not, and them things there. But my opinions are my opinions. You know, you lot can judge what you lot judge. You lot sevens might be 5 for me. My 5 might be you lot 7. So again, I can't deal with opinions, but I love the beautiful nature of opinions. Now, for me, although it ended 1-1, I'm going to give Leno a 7. I think you made 2 big saves in the game. Actually, like Chelsea, I think your distribution was spot on. I can't blame you for the goal we conceded. You saved us, like you said, like I said. Nothing else I can ask of you, really. For me, I'm giving Chambers a 9 personally. I think Chambers held it up today. Big performance from Callum Chambers today against Zaha. You know, we'd all be talking at lengths and questioning Arteta if he got eaten alive against him, but he held it up. He got tight. He dropped off when he needed to drop off. He offered something going forward. You can give it to him as an assist. I'm pretty sure technically, in fact, I don't even know, to be fair. There might have been other few phases in play, but he's involved in the build up to Pepe's second goal where he's thrown the ball in. I like to see the time wasting from him. I think Chambers is unfortunate that Pepe is going to write the headlines because of how the game went, but had it have stayed 1-1, I would have given it to Chambers as man of the match, and Pepe would have been. I think they were both sick today. The right wing, they started today, innit? So I think they were 30. I'm giving Leno a 7. Chambers at 8. I mean a 9. Apologies. I can't ask you for anything more. You know, decent little squad player there. Apologies. Who else should we go with? Holding. I think Holding, you did all right. I'm gonna give you a humble 6, man. I think Holding was all right today with his distribution. I actually see him try some brave passes. I think Holding put himself around and helped Chambers when he could. I think he done all right today, really and truly. Gabriel. I do think he could have done better for the goal. I think his distribution on the ball was good as well, but you know, I give him a 6. You know, maybe him and Chambers on another day probably deserve 7s, really, but I feel 6 is a fair result. I give Tierney a 7 as well. He was involved in the assist. You know, probably could get an 8, really and truly. You know, 8 for Tierney. I think second half he got a bit quiet. He ran out of steam. He's clearly not fully fit. There was even times in the first half he looked tired, but Tierney done what he could. I was a bit scared when he got subbed because I was thinking, you know, he's one of the guys that drive it forward for us. You know, El Nene, I give you a 6. I think you held it up in the second in stages of the game. Still not giving us enough on the ball. Partey, I think you was on course to get a 7, but I think a 6. I think you was quality in the first half and for about 10 minutes in the second. You went anonymous in the second half, but there was a period, like a real stage in the game like Partey goes through where, yeah, man, he just reverted. He just losing the ball and doing some mad stuff. So I think a 6 is fair for both of those. In fact, to be fair with you, I think you two are better. You know, I'm not really stressed out with my defense. I'm going to watch the game again because I want to see that goal. Something is telling me Gabriel was a bit weak on that goal, but I can't be sure. And I don't think El Nene and Partey are on the same level. So it is what it is. Smith Rowe, he tried in it, but it's a 6. 6 is a fair result for him. You know, he tried, it just weren't him. He was involved a bit more in the second half, mashed work a bit defensively, but I don't quite really think he's a 7, really. I'm more impressed with the defenders than some of our midfielders, really, excluding the subs and obviously who we've spoken about. So there's that. Aubameyang, I didn't really see you today, man. 4, maybe even a 5, 4/5. If you don't want me to go OTT, it's a 4 for me. I'll concede a 5. Didn't see you today, man. You know, against Chelsea, you didn't score, really have any chances, but I saw you. You was a threat. I didn't really see it today, Aubameyang. You know, like, again, I know the team has to play towards a striker's strengths, but the runs you're making is evidently not happening in it. So try something else. And I didn't really see it. He's just anonymous. As much as I give, you know, I can hear all the, you're not creating, he's a guy on service. At some period, you got to look for yourself. And it's not that I feel like Aubameyang was terrible, never play for the club again. It's just I never saw you in it. I see you the celebrations. I never saw you. 331 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. So, yeah, I think Aubameyang was anonymous in that regards. Saka just about grabs for me a 5, really. You know, I know he was involved in the goal, but yeah, he was a bit quiet by his own standards. He looks tired, man. Like the man needs to be. You don't want to overplay the Donny. Like just allow him, man. Like, and again, physically is one thing. Mentally, you've got to remember this guy in the short period of time has gone from a teenager who was excelling at football to, you know, when you speak of Arsenal, you're speaking of him. You know, you say Arsenal, it's Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Pepe, Saka. Like he's in England international. We're over relying on him because we've got a terrible squad and we're doing terrible things. He should be allowed scope to have these poor patches. You know, Greenwood went through these poor patches. Oli pulled him out. Now you see him doing this. Saka needs to be helped, but we've got, and again, mentally, let the man recharge, man. You know, we can't always be relying on this young lad, man. Let him have scope to develop. Fantastic player, but 5 for me, just, yeah, man. You know, yeah, really and truly. Obviously, Pepe, I give Pepe a 10. Man scored 2 goals. For me, he was positive. He was positive throughout the whole game. You know, the whole right side was good. I think, what more could I ask from Pepe today? 10 out of 10. You know, couldn't have asked you to do a damn thing more. Yeah, within the context of the game, the goals flatterize us and stuff, but you look like a player. And even when we're chasing the game, it's to the point where I'm saying, and I said it in my watch along, why do we keep giving it to Pepe? They're clocking what we're doing with Pepe. They're realizing what we're doing. And I think that was good. Obviously, I don't like to give player ratings to subs, but Martinelli, you get a 9, you scored. You know, I have to mark it down for the touch. Just in the minutes you played, you come on and score a goal. You scored. Basic movement, scored a goal. Martin Odegaard, you know, I give him and again, the subs are just for the minutes they've played. I give you an 8. You know, I think he was quite anonymous when you came on, really, but we only need you to get it right once. You got it right. And again, the 2 subs linked up. Granit Xhaka, I saw you a bit more than certain other midfielders. I give you a 5. I was kind of baffled at that, but it is what it is. Mikel Arteta, I'll give you a 5 for today. No, I'll give you a 6 for today. So that's my player ratings, people. Obviously, when I watch the games again, I always change them, but Leno 7, Chambers 9, Holding and Gabriel 7s, Tierney 8, El Nene 6, Partey 6, Smith Rowe 6. 4/5 for Aubameyang. I'm leaning towards a 4. If you don't think I'm harsh, then I'll say 5. 5 for Saka as well. Pepe gets a 10. Couldn't have asked anything more. In relation to the minutes these men played, Martinelli 9, Odegaard 8, Granit Xhaka with a 6, and the manager also gets such people. So it is what it is, firmly in that regards. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. It does not cost a thing. Obviously, please make sure you're here at this. So, yeah, man, let's see what you lot are saying. Before that, though, quick message. Big up you lot. Information's in the description. Information's just been dropped in the live chat as to how you can purchase one of those things. Obviously, make sure you're aware of everything else. To be fair with you, he should get a 9. To be fair, you're right, you know. But I just feel with the way the game was going, it was a bit mad still. But anyways, man, what are you lot saying in relation to ratings? Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Martinelli harassed their defense, tied and got his reward. Simple things. You see it. You know, simple things. Sometimes football's a simple game. You know, I appreciate all the ratings. Just with some of you put the names there. I don't know who's that. Marty 9, Odegaard 7, 6 for Odegaard. Pepe was massive, pardon. Game changer. DG 10, and I appreciate that. I give myself a 9 though. Martinelli 8. You know, I appreciate it, man. You lot make the world go around with all of this, man. West Ham are doing their job though. So as Laura and the American Gunner have said, there's issues, man. The fact we've been relying on teenagers has been the saddest thing about this season. Cut them some slack, and that's the fact. That's why we need to save Saka, Smith Rowe. Stop, you know, on one hand, you've got to judge them on footballers, but we need to help them, man. Shouldn't be over relying on them. But in relation to that game, that doesn't mean I don't think you're talking about me. I think you're talking about the live chat. But generally, just because you're a young player playing there doesn't mean if I think you're a 6, I'm going to give you a 7, man. So it is what it is in that regards, man. played within his limits. The wickedest thing is sometimes Martinelli, man said Martinelli, El Nene played some wicked passes. It's like he needs to, I don't think he can ever do it consistently, but if he believed in himself, he could do it a bit more, man. But for me, Chambers and Pepe were the real ones that I think you, man, were on another level compared to everyone else, man. That was a top-notch pass from Odegaard, but he needs to do that on a consistent basis. The games I've watched, he is playing to save. El Nene Part 2. Playing too safe, I think you meant. El Nene Part 2. His catching was better. I'll give Leno props for once. Chambers fully locked down Zaha. Please make sure you're running up the likes, people. Please make sure you're running up the likes. Amen to that. Amen to that. Is what it is, but 206 likes, but there's 319 of you locked in, so a couple people are being extremely lazy, but we move, we progress, we do what we need to do, people. Thomas said, looking forward to Sunday for the race for Europe. The games I'll be watching are Arsenal, Brighton, Leicester, Tottenham, Man City, Everton, and West Ham, Southampton. Are you managing to watch all of them at the same time, my guy? But nonetheless, big up to you for that, man. How will Arsenal make it into Europe? Bro, you need to ask that to Arteta in a press conference. I don't know. Them man, they put themselves in this sort of mess, so they need to tell you how they're getting out, because I don't know. I don't even know where we are on the league table. It's been irrelevant. All I care about is DG Nation and you guys and making sure I'm consistent with you guys. Cause them man there stop when I cared with everything in terms of top four and stuff. Them man there were not serious, man. Ox smashed the beauty for Liverpool. You know, I'm sure Liverpool probably hoping that puts a few more zeros on him. To be fair, Arteta has dropped Aubameyang before, and I think when Lacazette's fit, you go with Lacazette, or you give Martinelli that. Well, there's not going to be too many games to get a run out, but in the available 90 minutes, surely Martinelli has played his way into the team now. Surely Martinelli has played his way into the team. What more does he need to do? You know, the players you don't necessarily trust in Martinelli and Pepe, ask yourself, Arteta, why don't you trust them and try to get the best out of them? Because they've got the X factor. You know, obviously Pepe likes to dance and break dance a lot. Martinelli needs to sort out that first touch. For as great as he is, that first touch is baggy. But them man, they will save you. For me, until we bring in a striker, for me, you need to be looking to build around Aubameyang, not a man said Aubameyang, Pepe, Martinelli, and Saka. That's your short-term, long-term, and medium front three. If you can get Aubameyang scoring goals again, that's great. Use him in the medium term. Lacazette, the same logic, you know. But for me, we need to get to a level where you replace them and you find this striker, whoever it is, that can get 20 league goals. You've got Martinelli, who's able to excel on the right, on the left, through the middle, Pepe on the left and right, Saka's the same. You've got four man fighting for 3 spots. That's already in a good faith, because there might be reasons where you need an out-and-out number 9, whatever strengths he may or may not have in the future in comparison to a Martinelli. Then you've obviously got Saka and Pepe. Obviously, we need more than that, but they're good options. I do think football fans fail to understand you need a squad these days and you need options, and it would just be nice if the attackers got a run out, really, really and truly. Like, Arteta has to free up these guys now, man. Arteta has to build around Martinelli and Pepe to some degree. Among the others, Smith Rowe the same. You know, so build the team around Martinelli. Like I said, what did I say? Pepe and Saka. You know, what minute is that? 43:18. So yeah, man. Shout out to everybody locked in. I appreciate all you guys each and every time. What else are we saying? What's your lineup against Brighton? Bro, we'll deal with that on Friday. I don't know, man. I'm still processing this game. I never want Arsenal to lose. That's dead. As much as I hate the Conference League, that's dead. Pepe 8, Martinelli 6, the rest 5 or below. I think that's harsh on Callum Chambers. Until we've got a squad in the Prem, stop worrying about Europe. I think Martinelli was the difference. He defo played a part. We're 9th and need everybody around us to lose. Jordan, that's why I don't, hopefully it happens. I don't do that, innit? I like variables we can control. And for me, sitting in Sunday in May, when knowing what the objective is in August, it's dead for me, you know? It's dead for me. I ain't trying to rely on other teams to do a job. I hate all of that. Like, Just get through the game, give the fans them a send-off who do get to the ground, build for next season if you could build, and then we can just focus on the Euros, on Copa America, watch alongs for the champs and Europa League finals. It is what it is in that regards, man. Once Martinelli sorts out that first touch, he's going to be serious, man. Oh, man, the real European dream is over. It's over a long, long time ago. A very long time ago, man. But nonetheless, we move. Shout out to everyone that's locked in. Please make sure you hit the like button, people. Now, I want to win. At least we can finish above Spuds. I would love for that to happen, man. I would love for that to happen. But again, all these things are mad. Can 7th give Europa League as Leicester won the FA Cup? Well, someone that knows the technicalities, they're going to have to offer that opinion. Because if I'm completely honest with you, my broski, I don't have a clue, a foggy clue, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. 239. Can we progress that calmly into 300? Saka playing in the Euros will become much stronger player. Hopefully, I'd love for him to play there. I'd love for him to be called up, man. Love for him to be called up. Apparently, there'll be preliminary games for the Conference League in August. So again, Arteta cries about preseason. You're going to have to deal with this if you do have to qualify. You've got people in, if Martinelli's in the Olympics, Saka gets called up for the Euros, Tierney the same. You've got players all around, all over, Gabriel Olympics. So again, you're going to have to juggle things. You've got to deal with the things on the transfer front. This is why, for me, if you say you need a preseason, you lot should have bloody planned what this preseason is going to be weeks, months ago. Ain't worried about nothing. Definitely won't be after today. Big up yourself, broski. Decent win tonight. Amen, amen, amen. All about the strikers. Man said Conference League, just play Patino, Amari, and them boys. Bro, I'd love all them academy players to play. No one would be more happier than me. Why not, man? Can't forgive this team for forcing me to watch this dead West Ham game. Man, at least the Arsenal fans, we never lose our humour. Josh says, real talk. Everton play City, Spurs play Leicester. We'll see what happens. Hopefully Spursy can be Spursy. Hopefully something can happen, man. But again, for me, I don't take pleasure in that. Like, there's no joy in that, sitting there and having to be reactive and last day of the season and all of these things. I don't know, man. Some man it might be, but to me, it's not. I don't find it helpful. DG 7th place isn't Europa. Now, exactly, this is what I said. I don't know how that one goes. I don't know how that goes. To me, we're not in Europe. That's just how my head's been. If you lot sit here and you tell me we've now got Europe, it is what it is. But I don't think we have Europe in my head. Like, we're not playing European football. Like, in my head, anyways. Again, you lot know more than me. I just know half a bit about football, if that. You lot know about the technicalities and the finances and all of those sort of things, people. I'm just humble old DG, people. Humble old DG. So, yeah, man. 3-1. Result flattered us. It is what it is. Man said Wi-Fi password versus Arsenal. Bro, it is what it is. Like Razza said, it is what it is. Let's do our job against Brighton. I'm just win the game, innit? Big up yourself, F. Gotta watch Reguilon's goal of the season. You lot keep saying that, so I'm gonna pre it. 7th place Europa League playoff. I don't know how any of that works, man. I need to look on Sky Sports, really and truly. I don't really know, so we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. We really will have to see. Would you have taken this 8th place finish while we're in a relegation fight? Well, at some point, it looked like we weren't gonna finish anywhere in the top half of the table. So of course, but it is what it is, man. If Leicester finish 5th, we can get Europa. If we finish 7th, Leicester already have qualification through the FA Cup. I can't see them. Are they gonna get? They look like they're nailed on to get top 4, man. Brighton are a good team. West Ham won. All hopes for top 6 is gone. Brighton are a good team. I just said that. Hello, how did Partey? Is what it is, man. I don't understand some of the things being said, but shout out to everyone in the live chat, people. Shout out to you lot, man. Regulon's weak foot volley, my word, it was sublime. Liverpool are out of the top four. Leicester are out of the top four. Liverpool are fourth now. Rob, man, the table is just. I've lost all interest in the table, people. You lot updating me. I care about Arsenal. We stopped. We lost, so I just watch football. Tables have no interest to me, man. Leicester are fifth right now. Liverpool have an easier game and a better goal difference. Boy, you know, what would that say if Liverpool have had a terrible defense of their season and they get top four and Leicester's been the best ever? And again, at the last hurdle, they've messed up fourth place, Champions League place. Wonder what will be said there. And again, narratives are different, man. Is what it is. Hopefully, Palace can do a thing. I don't see Liverpool bottling at Palace, but they've done it before. Who knows, man? You think Kroenke is going to invest and back Arteta this summer? The age-old question, seeing is believing, is how to answer that. If I go off previous, of course not. It is what it is in that regards, though, man. You know, it is what it is. I can't lie, though. On that note, though, people, I'm going to cut this short because I've spoken about everything. There isn't much to speak about. This is my third live stream. As much as I love you guys, I'm tired. I'd like to shower and I'd like to eat, people. The good thing is we'll be back kind of honing in on these points tomorrow, people. So as I said, please make sure you're at the watch along tomorrow, people. I keep saying watch along because I'm tired. I mean live stream, people. Come on, Frederick, you're right, man. You're right. But before I go, please make sure you hit the like button on this and the next video. Open up another tab and do that. I appreciate all of you lot that have been locked in, people. Yeah, make sure you're hitting the like button. Shout out the members, subscribers, and whatnot. I'm going to leave you with the fan messages and whatnot, and I'm out. So yeah, man, shout out to you lot, man. I love you lot too, man. Harley, Shady, M, Peter, Raz. Man said good goal for Spurs today, DG. Whatever I can do, man. Burge White settings and that, man. Love you guys. Yeah, you lot kill me, man. But I'll catch you lot tomorrow, man. You lot make me feel bad for busting out, man. But on that note, DG.